So you've been in aesthetics for much longer than me, over 10 years.
Yeah.
Why do you think that people age differently?
I mean, there's many factors to this. I think the biggest factor that you've got is genetics. And by that, what I mean is it depends on the background that you come from. So, we hear the saying that if you're not from a Caucasian, but if you're from a slightly darker skin background, then what I found within practice is those people tend to age a little bit slower compared to someone who's Caucasian. Then you've got other factors as well. You've got factors such as lifestyle, you've got hormones. I've got my own opinion, right? Give me yours. Why is it that some people tend to age a bit faster than others?
Well, you have to look at people's ethnicities, and you have to look at how over the years, decades, hundreds of years, if you look at how people have aged, you'll look at darker skinned people age a lot slower than Caucasian skin. And there is a lot of different factors that come into that. You can look at bone density, you can look at collagen loss, and we can also, the main part of it actually is bone density and bone loss over time with different ethnicities. Now, if we just factually look at darker skinned ethnicities, bone loss happens a lot slower than in, say, Caucasian people. And that would then go in hand because you see Caucasian ages a lot faster. There's more wrinkles that we see than in perhaps darker skins. Also in Asian skins, Asian people have a lot less bone density than both Caucasian and black skins. They have a lot less than all of them. So you actually then do see the aging process. If you look at an Asian person, they get to a certain age, they're very slim, they all look very, very young, and then suddenly they age. And it's a huge drop that just suddenly happens. But that is all, a lot of it is to do with bone density. Muscle mass comes into it as a lot, but bone density and collagen loss over time.
Okay, so that's interesting. So we've spoken about genetics and just how you're born. Do you think lifestyle has got anything to do with it as well? Because if you look at the different types of people that you have in terms of their backgrounds, their lifestyles vary. I'm from an Asian background, and in terms of what we eat, and just the way we are, it's very different to other backgrounds. Do you think lifestyle has got something to do with that as well?
I think it does. I think there's a lot of talk around sun exposure, UV exposure, etc. But as much as I get a bit of flack for this, I think that I'm not always in agreement with the UV exposure side to it. Because if you look at a lot of African people from ancestors, and they were in fields and they were exposed to the sun all the time, their skin still didn't age. We didn't, obviously now we hear more about cancer, etc., and we hear about it because we're more educated about it now, but their skin still didn't age to the rate that we are aging now. We are aging faster than we've ever aged. I think that's why the whole longevity thing has taken over, and people are starting to actually really assess, great, we can do aesthetics, we can do everything we want to do to our face, we can completely, but if we're still aging, surely something is going on within that's causing this breakdown so quickly, this collagen formation to break down, and thus cause aging so quickly.
So then, which leads on to the next question. Do you think muscle mass is important within that? Because one of the biggest conversations at the moment to do with aging, or aging of the skin, or how we look, is to do with exercise and muscle mass within the body.
Muscle plays a massive part.
Why?
Because if you look at women women go through perimenopause, which we'll come onto in another podcast, but I'm just going to broach on this quickly. Women go into perimenopause, menopause, osteoporosis can kick in, and they lose bone loss. It's much, much faster. Women start to lose bone mass after the age of 25. It starts to decrease over time. So if you really think about it, if you don't build muscle, and if you don't have muscle there, and you're losing bone at the same time, you're just aging the body really quickly. There has been proven facts that if you build muscle, it slows the aging process down. The muscle is what slows aging. It's not about the bone loss. It's the muscle mass that slows the aging down. And that goes for your face is a muscle. You see all these things now that are showing facial gym and all these different things, because your face is a muscle at the end of the day. Muscle atrophy doesn't just happen in your biceps, it happens in your face as well. When you get muscle atrophy in your face, then of course you're going to end up with your skin sagging because your skin is holding on to the muscle. So it's a really massive part. Muscle mass is huge, and all of these big things that are coming out now, and they're saying, be aware, build muscle. It's really important, and it's actually not just a fad. That is not a fad. The building the muscle has been from the beginning of time. It's just now people are taking effect and they're looking at it because they've gone to the aesthetics world and they've realized that, oh, well, actually, no, it's not keeping me young. I don't seem to still look young 10 years after having my lips filled, my cheeks filled, etc. I'm starting to look older. Why am I looking older? Okay, I'll dissolve. They dissolve and they look even older. So people are being worried that they've actually ruined what they built to begin with through aesthetics. And that's not about, you can't just keep filling and fixing things through superficial ways. You've got to think about the way that your body wants to work, building your own collagen, building your muscle, and being as strong as you can be within yourself. And that will reflect in your anti-aging process internally and externally.
Right, I'm going to ask you this final question, and you can have two people exactly the same age. They've known each other for a very long time, but one looks a lot younger than the other. Why is that the case?
Because two people could age completely differently. It's not just about your biological age, your metabolic age as well. And this is where blood tests are amazing, and they really can come into play and really show what's going on with your body metabolically.
Okay.
People, I'll tell you a quick fact. When I was a lot younger and I was doing a lot of my sprinting and I was doing a lot of training, I had a blood test done and it said that my cardiovascular range was not great at the time. And I thought, well, hold on a second, I'm really, really fit here. I'm sprinting like all day long. I'm really, really fit. And it showed me where I could go if I didn't make changes later on in life. So your biological age is really, really important. And so is your metabolic age. This all links into your cardiovascular, how everything is working within your body. So two people can age completely differently because one looks after themselves and the other one is very sedentary and doesn't look after themselves at all. You're going to age the body. You're going to age your face. You're going to just prematurely age. There is no reason, I think, at 60, 70 years old, people need to be huddled over with a walking stick. I don't think I think that can be prevented, because I've had two clients that are both 80 years old. They both have gone literally to the same university, to the same school together. They have grown up together. This person is running 10Ks and this person is huddled over and not running 10Ks and is very much an 80-year-old person. So I've really experienced that firsthand, where age really is a number.